colleague, Ranking Member Reed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to our witnesses, and congratulations on your nominations. I'd also like to welcome your families who are with you today and have been with you throughout your careers, I'm sure. Also like to thank the Speaker for his thoughtful comments. Mr. Cowell, you are nominated to the second highest civilian position in the Department of the Navy. If confirmed, one of your most important priorities must be assisting the Secretary in growing and maintaining the fleet. For several years, the Department has fallen well short of its shipbuilding and deployment plans. A number of vessels, including an aircraft carrier, multiple destroyers, and the Virginia and Columbia-class submarine programs are facing delays of more than a year. And I'm interested to know how you would address these programs and their unique challenges, and how you would work to get them back on schedule and on budget. And Mr. Cowell, while I appreciate your distinguished service in the Navy, I'm concerned about your recent record of controversial positions. In recent years, you've made a number of partisan and divisive statements, including disparaging certain Navy personnel, sharply criticizing U.S. allies, and advocating for the release of convicted January 6th individuals. Mr. Cowell, if confirmed, you would represent all military and civilian personnel in the Department of the Navy, including those who disagree with these statements. And I hope you will take the opportunity today to explain your positions and assure this committee of your commitment to uphold the Navy's values, which are centered in the Constitution. Ms. Dodd, you are nominated to be Assistant Secretary of Defense for Critical Technologies. If confirmed, you will be responsible for assessing and coordinating the emergency technologies needed by our military allies and partners, as well as our adversaries. In particular, you will need to focus on maintaining our edge over China and Russia in areas such as artificial intelligence, hypersonics, quantum computing, and biotechnology. Much of this can only be accomplished by improving the Department's ability to overcome the so-called Valley of Death and turn research innovations into acquisition programs and ultimately into real operational capabilities. Your experience in the Pentagon's innovation community should serve you very well in this role. Mr. Hirsch, you are nominated to be Assistant Secretary of the Army for Manpower and Reserve Affairs. If confirmed, you would serve as the principal civilian officer with supervision over all Army personnel policies. Indeed, our Army's greatest asset is its people, and the Assistant Secretary should be squarely focused on retaining and supporting soldiers and their families. Mr. Hirsch, you are currently performing the duties of the Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness, and some of your duties directed by the Secretary have been to decrease the workforce. Now, in the Department of the Army, you'll have to ensure you can operate with a decreased workforce and make sure that the reductions are sensible and add to the force and not subtract from them. Again, your experience, I think, will bode very well, and if not, you'll be criticized repeatedly by Henry. That's his new son. Mr. Ingraham, you are nominated to be Assistant Secretary of the Army for Acquisition, Logistics, and Technology. If confirmed, you will oversee research, development, acquisition, program statement, and logistics activities while the Army begins a significant transformation. You will be responsible for balancing the need for rigorous management with the imperative to move quickly and use smart acquisition strategies. To achieve this, it will be necessary to strengthen the Army's workforce and improve data systems. You have considerable experience in the Pentagon coordinating air, surface, cyber, and electronic warfare systems. And I would ask for your thoughts on how the Army can better develop and field these platforms. Finally, Mr. Gillis, you are nominated to be Assistant Secretary of the Army for Installations, Energy, and Environment. If confirmed, you will be responsible for managing the Army's physical footprint. I am particularly concerned that the Army recently reprogrammed more than $1 billion from its facilities account to pay for Southwest border operations at the request of DHS and Customs and Border Patrol. Press reports indicate that this money was originally intended to improve enlisted barracks and other infrastructure repairs. In addition, extreme weather events have cost the Army billions of dollars in damage and recovery costs, which compromise soldier readiness. If confirmed, Mr. Gillis, you will need to be disciplined in staunchly defending and aligning the Army's budget to the challenges of the future, including prioritizing soldier care and readiness above all else. Again, thank you to our nominees. I look forward to your testimony, and thank you, Mr. Chairman.